Their style is so unique. Press for 40 minutes. They hadn't been pressing on misses today. They kind of went back to pressing on misses which just kept the pace going and going. Really proud of our guys. I thought they played with a lot of heart tonight. 48 hours earlier, we were playing our first Mountain West game, very emotional game in Wyoming. For them, very physical game. For them to come back with really no prep because we couldn't really practice yesterday and play how they did against an Indy team that played really, really well. Really proud of our guys.
Obviously, with the win today, that kind of wraps up non-conference play. How would you assess that the non-conference play went for you guys this season?
Yeah, it was definitely rocky early. Trying to figure things out, I think, from a player side, from a coaching side. And then, we went to Palm Springs, and, I think that game against Utah and that win really helped us moving forward. And, we've been a different team really since that tournament. And then the last 3 games, I feel like they're really starting to know each other better, feeling more comfortable with what we're doing. And it's been really fun just to see them progress, these last few weeks.
Coach, how do you kind of prepare for a game like tonight? You talked about very quick turnaround, couldn't practice. IU Indy is the number 2 team in the country as far as pace is concerned. How do you kind of prepare for something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, and our biggest thing was trying to keep our legs as fresh as possible in the last 48 hours. This was on me. It was not good scheduling on my part. The Mountain West game on the road was very emotional, and being our first game in the league and just the level of play in the Mountain West, how physical it is, and again how emotional. Again, our guys are really excited. First game for the whole school in the Mountain West, and so that was a very emotional game. And after emotional games, it's hard to respond. And Indy's they haven't played in a week, and they've had 1 game in 2 weeks, so they've been putting a lot into this prep, I'm sure. And again, I thought our guys overcame a lot, and especially those last 7 minutes. Really proud of just how they dug down defensively and really came together.
Obviously, a little bit of time off prior to really getting in Mountain West play moving forward. What is the team going to be doing over the next 11 days prior to the next game?
Well, we get a few days off, and it's much needed. These guys have worked really hard this month of December. Again, they've worked, put a lot of time in the gym, and so it'd be a nice thing for everybody to go. Thank the Lord we're going, with the win and a 3-game win streak. Definitely makes the off days a lot more enjoyable. But then, everything that this team wants and that we want is ahead of us. And, Mountain West play, we'll be back at home, our first home Mountain West game. And, there'll be a level of excitement of that even more, being our first one at home, for us. So it'll be nice to get back after some time off and get some practice days in and lock in on getting better at things for league play.
First home Mountain West game, school starts that following Monday. What do you expect? Obviously, home crowd usually plays a big part here. A lot of students may not be back yet. What do you kind of expect for that first home game?
Yeah, our school does a great job giving breaks. Hopefully people will be back. They've had a long break, so hopefully they'll come back that weekend and be ready a couple days early, for our game. But if not, tonight's crowd was incredible. Our faculty came out. All they do for our school, they came out and got loud in the second half. And our support was great today. But we would definitely love to have the Havocs here, for that first home opener.
Obviously, such a great game from Henley again tonight. What can you kind of say that he's done for this team coming in and making an impact?
Yeah, he's so good at finishing around the rim, and he just made some spectacular finishes, around the rim. And he's so dynamic in the open floor with his size and his ability to get downhill. And I think you saw that very impressively how he did that tonight to score 29. A lot of those were in the paint and him just finishing well around the rim.